So people may think that flying aerobatics at a competition and a contest is just get in the airplane and go fly, but for this series, what we're trying to do is give you a behind the scenes look at what it takes to actually make it to that top level and some of the work that goes in to making your airplane as good as it can possibly be. So follow us along on this journey to the National Aerobatic Championships.
All right, welcome to episode 3. We got the airplane fixed, had a broken secondary winding in the coil of the right magneto. And so what that resulted in was a magneto that through every normal test looked fine, except that it wasn't sending any spark to spark plugs and the engine wouldn't run on the right mag. So taking the mag off and putting a meter on the coil, you could test the output versus the input side of the secondary winding, and you're looking for resistance there, and what you found was an open circuit. So that means it's an infinite resistance. There is no connection between the two sides, so you're not making any electrical connections. Something broke inside there. Pretty quick replacement. I think he had it out and replaced within about 10 minutes, and then it took another half hour, 40 minutes to put the mag back on the airplane. But she should be good to go now. So let's go out and practice some fundamentals in the aircraft. Some slow rolls, point rolls, 45 up, 45 down, spin loop roll, hammerhead. Get the basics, find out what the aircraft likes as far as speeds, control inputs, and control forces. Really get familiar with the machine, and then we can start combining elements and maneuvers in order to form that sequence card. All right, let's go fly.
All right, welcome back, riders. We're up here at 5,000 feet. Got the power set. Let's pull it back 2,400. Don't need to make a ton of noise while we're up here. 5,000 feet, doing about 145 knots, 23 inches of manifold pressure. And we're just going to try out some 45s and some half rolls. But first, we'll do a 2-point safety check. Make sure our belts are nice and tight with a little bit of G warm-up. So it's about 3G, there's 4G, 4.5, and that's all she's going to give me at 130. 4.5G feels real good, not even straining. Body feels good, nice and awake. All right, taking a look at our area here. So belts are nice and tight now that we squished ourselves down into the seat. Get a little extra tightness on the belt. Now we'll do a half roll to inverted. 2-point safety check, a little bit of FOD, oil pressure, everything's in the green, looks good there. All right, so 2-point safety check complete. I think the airplane's going to keep running for us just fine. So we'll dive down and get a little bit of smash. I'm over top of a swamp. There are some houses around, but no swamps down below me for a couple of miles. So we're not in a populated area, so 45 up. Set. Let's take a look right and left. It's about the same half roll. Set. 45. I need to put a 45 mark on there. We'll go with the down line. 45. There we go, right about there. Half roll. Still set. Looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. 4,500 feet. We'll just do a little half loop up, because I really want to learn the stick positions that are that critical angle of attack. So let's pull it back for a power off stall right now, clearing the area. Looks good. Pull the throttle back to idle. There's 80, 70, sticks coming back, and 65. Okay, so sticks right about here. Lots more elevator to go. Relax from there. Okay, so G feels good. 45s feel pretty good. Need to get a 45 indicator on that sighting device going through the middle there. Right now I'm eyeballing it, so we'll figure that out. Let's do a slow roll here. Here's 120 knots, looking straight ahead. So left, right rudder, forward stick, left rudder, back pressure, back to level. Okay, held on a little too much left rudder there, but she did okay. And now we'll do one quick. So left foot, right foot, forward stick, and back pressure. So I undershot that. And we'll turn it around here. All right, so there's 135. Let's do another slow roll. 3, 2, 1. Left foot, right foot, forward pressure. Left foot, neutral. All right, still 140. Let's do it again. 3, 2, 1. Smooth over. A little wobble there to stop. And again, 3, 2, 1. Smooth over. Quick back. All right, undershot. 3, 2, 1. Overshot, a little too much, not enough rudder actually. Okay, and 3, 2, 1. Okay, not too shabby. All right, let's trade that energy, airspeed for altitude. We're gonna get set up for a spin. We'll do a 1.5. 1.5 turn spin. There we go, power's coming back. We know she stalls about 65 on the indicator in the stick's position.
Clear for takeoff.
So there's 68 kick stick. Half. 1 and half. Pretty solid there. Exit at 180, 3,500 feet, so about 52 to 35 or thereabouts. As I was taking a look at it, that's not too shabby. That all looks pretty darn good. How's our engine running? 200 degrees on the oil temp, 70 psi oil pressure. Things look pretty good right there. Okay. All right. So let's head back, review the footage, and we'll see what mistakes we made, because that's what this is about. It's about finding our mistakes and fixing them.
Okay, so I need to come up with a solution for this sighting device. Somehow need to mount a 45 line going from this corner up to the center of this and make it nice and rigid so that I can have it mounted and sturdy and stable and clearly visible. Because right now, when I pull up to the 45, I'm using this line, but once I roll the airplane inverted, I need to use the 45 that's inside of here, and gotta figure out a solution for that. And then of course we're gonna go to some place like Springfield, Vermont, where it's all mountainous and this thing won't matter anyway. Yeehaw. Hey, it's Rob with Spread Aviation. If you're enjoying the show so far, make sure you hit that like, follow, and subscribe button. Also check out our partner cj.laroche.20 on Instagram. So, back to the show. Working on the extra here today because this sighting device, as good as it is and as original as it is to the aircraft, it's just not going to quite cut it for what our purposes are. So Tom Sherwood, who's got a long history of working on awesome airplanes and fabricating and making things from nothing, is going to help us make a whole brand new sighting device that'll help us put this airplane on the angles that we need to win. So thanks, Tom.
Sure. My pleasure.
What did you say about the bow?
The bow is because they put welds on this here. It's a small diameter tube, so it's going to bow. But they probably should have taken the bow out of it. But we'll take the bow out of it and make it like you want.
Perfect.
Got it laid out on the table here. It's a squared plus b squared equals c squared, and this is c squared. Anyway, so I'm about ready to sand off the old weld and scribe it part for the new weld. I mean, sand it down for the new weld.
Perfect.
And it's going to go in there like that.
Nice.
And this one's going to go like this. But, yeah, this is the angle right here.
Perfect.
But I already cut the piece to size, so it should fall into place. I'll put this other angle in here.
Perfect.
So.
Feel a change in the metal,
Yeah.
from the weld to whatever the base is.
I wouldn't take any more off than that.
Okay, perfect.
And,
Sweet.
pretty good. Oh, that's.
Needs a little tweaking.
I think it's fine, right there.
So Tom, why are we choosing to TIG weld this particular piece here?
It's plenty strong enough. It's I'll get good penetration, and it's 70,000 pounds per square inch rod, and we've welded fuselages together with this and TIG welded.
So it's not going to come apart.
No, I can't do that to you.
Okay, thank you.
I'm going to get it packed on here. Sanded to fit.
You said this bandsaw was from 1946?
Yep.
That's probably older than me, right?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It might be older than Tom.
Yeah.
Born in 39.
Oh, okay, never mind. So you grew up together is what you're saying?
Yeah. There. Now we'll flip it over and do the other side.
Okay, flippy flippy. You're doing better than I would be doing. So I have no judgment.
Been there for a little while now.
Yeah.
About 65 years.
Only 65? Oh, okay.
Having taken a lot of weld tests over the years, if you cut through this, like say across there, you would see a bead on the inside as well as bead here.
So it's not just what we have out here, it's penetrating all the way to the inside,
Yes.
and it's bonding in there as well, which is what makes this so strong, right?
Yes.
Wow. So like a gap like this on this side, we don't really care because we know we're going to fill that in.
Right.
So when we're TIG welding, we're making a pool of molten metal. I wanted to say
Yeah.
lava.
Yeah.
We're making a pool of molten metal, and we're guiding that along with the arc, but then we're also adding a filler rod, and that is strengthening what that liquid metal in the pool is.
Yep.
And then we surround it with argon gas to keep out impurities, and then when it finally cools and hardens, would you say it's stronger than it was beforehand, or is the weld in this case still the weakest point?
No, I think at 4130, the weakest point is in what they call the heat affected zone, which would be on the other side of the weld, like across here.
Okay.
But in this case, with this material and this weld, you could take and beat that with a hammer and nothing's going to happen.
All right, so stay away from my sighting device with your hammers, folks. Just, I need this to be the angles that it's at. I feel a little bit bad because for all I know, this was the original sighting device that came with the aircraft in 1994 when it was manufactured and flew with the Northern Lights aerobatic team. So like, I feel a little bit bad about destroying a piece of history, but it's got a different mission now. It's got a different purpose. And it's not like we got rid of the whole thing. Like, we still have the base of what the sighting device was. It's just now we're giving it new life and adding more utility and making it better for what we need it for now.
Yeah.
So I feel a little bit bad, but I'm also like really, really happy because this is going to work great.
I think it will. We'll work it down though.
Yeah, just a little bit of cleanup, a little bit of prep, get it ready for paint. So while Tom is looking for some Prepsol to wipe down the sighting device, those of you who have been fans of Spread Aviation for a little while, you may recognize this aircraft. This is from episode 1 of Aircraft Reviews by Rob. This was the first airplane that we ever did an aircraft review on. This is Tom's airplane, and it is in fantastic shape for a 7AC Champ. You may be confused by the back window. That's actually a Citabria 7EC or a 7ECA rear window, but she's all champ. All champ.
We don't want you showing up on somebody's ramp with paint peeling off.
No.
We retain that dimension.
Okay, we didn't have to move that at all?
No.
Very good. So we had some discussion with the sighting device about whether to paint it glossy or matte, and what we decided was we'll go with a
It's a satin.
satin, yeah.
We weren't sure if we were going to make it semi-gloss or semi-flat.
Yeah.
The difference. Satin.
Satin should stand out still very well against any kind of background that we may be looking at while we're looking at the sighting device.
Yeah, we'll put a little primer on there for sure.
Okay.
Shake that.
I'll shake that.
You need the primer. Self-etching primer.
Now, Tom, as far as I know, I'm not an expert in this, but the reason we wouldn't want to just leave primer on there is because primer is porous, correct?
Yes.
And moisture would get in there, and then you have problems with corrosion. Okay, I can shake it. Thank you for being a good sport and playing along.
Times that I had to go to a meeting and I had dirty shoes, so I would paint them with this.
Here, you want me to hold this end?
No. 20 minutes, it says there. So we'll do it in 10 with this.
Now, some people may think this is just your ordinary everyday hairdryer, but it's not. This is a heat gun.
This will take the hair off your head.
Oh yeah, it's capable of much hotter temperatures than you would get out of any commercially available hairdryer. What do you think the hottest temperature this thing will get to is? A couple hundred?
Yeah, easily.
Easily.
This is a commercial one. This is a commercial hairdryer.
Commercial hairdryer. Now the welds that we ground off actually looked really good. There was good penetration on them. There wasn't any pitting, no pockets.
Right.
And that's why this thing has been around since 1994.
It was a good weld job.
Yeah.
Whoever did it, you know.
So good job, Walter Extra. Whoever worked for Walter in 1994.
Yeah.
All right, sorry about the wind noise. I'll put some music in. So this is a multi-purpose tie-down ring and sighting device holder. We can adjust the angle of the sighting device up and down, pivoting around this point by adjusting a nut inside of here on a rod that'll raise and lower, so that the pilot, as they're sitting in the cockpit and looking through the sighting device, they get a nice accurate reference as to where level is or where the 45s are on the sighting device. So you can actually adjust quite a bit of this in and out depending on where the pilot is sitting inside the aircraft. And so we're trying to set this one up for me, and where I sit, what I see in the aircraft. It won't really work for anybody else, maybe unless they're the exact same size torso as me, but I'm the only one that's supposed to be using it, so this ought to work really well. All right, there's no way anybody can hear me right now. It's very windy, but Tom, thank you very much. This thing looks amazing. I can't wait to go and fly with it now. I'll put up like a side-by-side of before and after of what it used to look like, what it looks like now. Okay. And this is awesome. Tom Sherwood at the Beverly Airport. If you need something built, Tom could probably do it. So thank you very much, Tom.
Always a pleasure.
Oh yeah, absolutely, and I can't wait to fly with it. So that's the next step. We got to take the airplane flying. We got to test it out, and we have to get observed from the ground. We need that ground coaching in order to find out if this thing is actually telling me where I'm supposed to be and making it so the judges know that I'm on that 45 line or that vertical nice and pure. So stay tuned for that. We'll start flying very soon.